In this example, use the card not present or Moto ECI indicators as the rule parameter to identify high risk, unauthenticated or less secure e-commerce transactions. The Moto ECI indicator indicates if a transaction occurs online, face-to-face or as recurring transactions. For e-commerce transactions, it can be a value from 01 to 09. A fully authenticated online transaction carries a Moto ECI indicator of 05. All other values for ECI, i.e. 06 to 09, are deemed to be less secure, which may need monitoring. To aggregate the number of transactions and the cumulative amount, a velocity rule needs to be created. This should be used in conjunction with a real-time decisioning rule to decline the transactions which meet the criteria. A feature called Rule Value List within VRM helps the user to include a bunch of values and tag it to a list. This can be a collection or a set of MCCs, issuing or acquiring bins, a collection of suspicious terminals, a set of high-risk e-com merchants, categories grouped by region, and so on. To create a rule value list, click on Rule Value List, followed by Create New List. Give this list a name, High Risk MCC, followed by merchant category code as the parameter. There is a maximum of 1,000 values in a list. You may enter values separated by a comma without a space directly into the values box. For this list, we need to key in 4511 for airlines and air carriers, 7995 for betting, track, casino and lottery, 5964 for catalogue merchants. Before proceeding, make sure a comma separates each value. Alternatively, you can upload a file that will append values to those that already exist in the values box. Click on Browse and select the file that you have prepared. The file needs to be in a .txt format with the value. For instance, the file contains 7832 for motion picture theatres, 5735 for the record stores, and 4722 for travel agencies. Select the file and click on Open and Upload Value. The value should then appear in the values box. Once you have verified the values, click on Update. A rule value list has now been created. Next, create a velocity rule. From Rules Manager, select Velocity from the Rules Type dropdown and Create New Rule. Then give this rule a name, Velocity E-commerce High Risk MCC. Give a meaningful description to this rule, to track e-commerce transactions from specific high-risk merchant category codes. Add a definition to the rule. This will take you to the Rule Definition Edit Criteria page. First choose the parameters. For this case, use Merchant Category Code. You will also notice a Use Value List checklist now appears next to the parameter box. Check this box. For operator, select Equals and then the rules value list we have just created. Once complete, click on Add to Criteria List. Next, we need to add the Moto ECI indicator as shown. Verify your selection and click Add to Criteria List and Update. Select the action to accumulate either cardholder billing amount or transaction amount for this velocity rule. In this case, choose transaction amount in US dollars and click on Update. A velocity rule to track e-commerce transactions from specific high-risk MCCs has been created. Now create a real-time decisioning rule to decline the high-risk transactions. From the Rules Type dropdown, select Real-Time Decisioning and Create New Rule. Give this rule a name, Ecom High Risk MCC. Give a meaningful description to this rule. Decline high risk e-commerce transaction if the card has been used more than twice or cumulative value of $2,000 within the last 60 minutes. Add a definition to the rule. This will take you to the Rule Definition Edit Criteria page. Select Merchant Category Code and check the Use Value List box. For operator, select Equals and then the rules value list we have just created, High Risk MCC. Once complete, click on Add to Criteria List. Next, as per the value list, add the Moto ECI indicator of 6, 7, 8 and 9. After verifying the selection, click Add to Criteria List and Update. Now add the optional criteria. For optional criteria 1, we need to choose the velocity rule we have created, Velocity E-commerce High Risk MCCs. For operator and value, input occurred within 60 minutes, with the count more than 2. Once complete, click Add. We then need to add our second optional criteria. For optional criteria 2, we again need to choose the velocity rule which we have created. For operator and value, input occurred within 60 minutes, with the transaction amount more than $2,000. Once complete, click Add and Update. We have now completed the rule criteria definition and so can proceed to selecting the processing options. For action, select Decline and the time frame as always. Now, this real-time decisioning rule has been created, which will decline high-risk e-commerce transactions if the card has been used more than twice, or for a cumulative amount of $2,000 within 60 minutes. Please always test the rule, assess the results and activate the rule only after you have determined that the rule meets your objective. Rule activation will follow a batch cycle where activation takes place every 15 minutes from the top of the hour.